We now have multiple co-defendants with Donald Trump in the state of Georgia. Both Kenneth Chesbro and Sidney Powell have now both filed motions. Chesbro's was actually granted, but they've both filed motions to get a speedy trial. They don't want this thing to wait. They want to get it over with as quickly as possible, they're telling the courts. And so far, the judge has been very obliged to give them everything they want. Chesbro's going to have to go to trial on October 23rd. A date has not yet been set for Sidney Powell, but it's likely that she will also go to trial this year. There's also reports swirling that John Eastman, another one of Trump's lawyers, along with Powell and Chesbro, who was indicted in Georgia, rumors are swirling that he is also going to ask for a speedy trial. There's a reason why so far the only people that have requested a speedy trial are Trump's former lawyers. And this is important. This is something that everybody has to remember. About a week or two ago, even before the indictments actually were handed down, we talked about the fact that Donald Trump was already planning a legal defense that essentially involved throwing his lawyers under the bus. He was going to go into court, and probably still plans to, and argue that I was only acting on advice of counsel. My lawyers told me I could do these things. They're the people who know the law. Why would I doubt them? They told me to do it, and as their client, I did it on their advice. So to put that in other words, Donald Trump is planning on walking into court when his trial starts and throwing all of his lawyers under the bus. But now all those lawyers are saying, whoa, hold up, Judge. Let me go first. How about you go ahead and let me do my trial so I can tell things from my perspective before Donald Trump gets the chance to go in there and use his advice of counsel defense. So what we're seeing happen with these lawyers requesting these speedy trials, it's not because they want to get it over with as quickly as possible. It's because they need to get on the record countering Donald Trump's legal defense before he has the chance to go into court and even make that claim. Because if they can go into their trials, paint Donald Trump as the mastermind of all this and say that they were simply following his orders instead of the other way around, then that is going to hurt Donald Trump's chances of even being able to use that defense when time comes for his trial. Now, don't get me wrong, again, he'll still try. But if you get 1, 2, maybe even 3 people convicted before Donald Trump goes to trial, and all 3 of those convicted people say that Donald Trump told us to do this, again, it's not an excuse for their actions. They could still be convicted for it. But if you've got 3 people that are already on the record, that jury's already agreed with that, yes, Trump was pulling the strings, when it comes time for his trial, all the members of that jury are going to know that. The prosecution is going to know that, and Donald Trump and his legal team will also know that. They know that their defense will have no teeth anymore. They will know that juries already made their decisions on Donald Trump's legal defense before he even got a chance to make it in court. So that's why these requests for a speedy trial are so important, and that's why so far we're only seeing them coming from Trump's former lawyers. They have to go into court and destroy his legal defense before he has the chance to go to court and throw them under the bus. That's what we're witnessing right now, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the judge decides with regards to the other speedy trials, because if we get multiple, 2 or 3 convictions before Trump goes to trial, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet to assume that his goose will be cooked by that point. Hey everyone, this is Aspen, and did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.